I head talent, we call HR talent, for delivery services as well as enablement services, and also part of the global talent transformation. As part of the global talent transformation, I head Gen AI implementation across EY. One of the topic in Gen AI we are working on is the future of work. And within future of work, we have an organization called Skill Foundry. So we are working on defining what is the future skills look like and what's the role of education institutions as well as learning institutions as well as organization to prepare skills for the future. So that's what I want to talk. So let me start with the, is it working? Or we can move the slides. Okay. So in EY, our purpose is building a better working world. We are a purposeful company. So as part of the purpose, we develop a lot of questions we ask ourselves. We believe better questions define better answers and better answers defines better working world. So one of the favorite questions we ask ourselves is how can what you learn transform who you are going to be or who you become? So that's very, very important. All of us need to continuously learn. And as teachers, as students, we need to continuously learn. What we learn today will define our future. So with this better question, let me first set a context of what we call it as the opportunity we have in front of us. The opportunity is huge, $1 trillion economy. Very exciting, isn't it? So opportunity is huge and we need to see it. So the way I see it, the way you see it may be very different. How can we see this opportunity collectively? That's what this kind of seminars we normally attend help us to see things better than what we see as individuals. The second one is, once you see it, you own it. Education institutions own certain part of the opportunity. Organizations like EY own certain part of opportunity. Government, the minister was here, own certain part of opportunity. So we need to own the opportunity. We cannot forget after this conference we go home and nothing changes. We have to own it. At least 2-3 steps, baby steps, we need to own it. Then we need to solve it. When you walk out of this room, you know that these are the opportunity, I see it. Now I understand I am going to own it. Then you need to go out and solve it collectively. Then once you solve it in PowerPoints and great paperwork, then you have to execute it. We call it as you have to do it. The last mile of any transformation is doing it and making a difference. So one of the challenges we have today after this conference is how do you go through this 4 steps, and I will give you some thought process around skilling for the future and how can we drive this transformation. So let me first talk about little statistics here. What you see in this slide is developed by a generative AI. And the entire PowerPoint is developed by generative AI. And we partner with a company called Drop. They have a lot of market intelligence. And we prompt and we develop a lot of insight for our transformation. So before I get to this slide, I don't know how many of you know what is the percentage of potable water in Earth? And all of us know 3/4 of the planet is water, isn't it? Can anybody tell me what is the percentage of potable water? Yeah, you are almost closer. So 0.3. 0.3. So I'm not getting into this, lot of research are happening. How do you really make this water potable? That's the reason we say water, water everywhere, not a single drop to drink. So similar situation in India also, people everywhere. And university degrees everywhere, but very few people are employable and can make a difference. So this slide clearly shows 78.5% of higher education in Tamil Nadu is in rural. So that's a challenge, we need to solve it. Nothing negative in that, but how do you see that opportunity positively and how do you unlock the value of this rural economy, including skills in the rural is what I'm going to talk about it. And if you want to meet our aspirations around a $1 trillion economy, our resources are sitting in rural. The organization, government, education institutions who really unlock this value is going to be successful. I will give a small case study. I was privileged to work for Bangladesh government 18 years back. So Bangladesh tried to invite a lot of multinational companies, including Indian service firm, to start a setup in Bangladesh. Do you know anybody there right now? Nobody is there, isn't it? So World Bank appointed one of my friend and myself to really start working on how do you create an IT economy or knowledge economy for Bangladesh. And today, Bangladesh, 45% of their GDP come from gig workers or freelancers. And third largest freelancing economy in the world. So that is, if Bangladesh can do it, where they have very poor infrastructure, you know, 2/3 of the Bangladesh is underwater. And how can we do collectively to develop an economy based on rural or unlocking the potential of the students who are studying in various urban as well as rural centers? So if you really move here, I was very surprised the enrollment happening in Tamil Nadu for various courses, and I could see in this room also the enrollment of diversity, that is female candidates, is improving and the male is reducing it. So many corporates are talking about diversity, and Tamil Nadu is a great potential to drive diversity, isn't it? If you can really untap the women students who are getting into colleges, and if we can really give them flexibility and skilling approach, we can make a big difference. Now let me get into our agenda. I set the context. We have lots of people, lots of education institutions. Every day one new education institutions is coming up in every city and every village. Our challenge is how do you make them industry ready? So our agenda requires mass transformation. It is not incremental, like Minister mentioned in the morning. We require a mass transformative purpose for $1 trillion economy. Don't underestimate. If you are very serious on this tagline, you require a mass transformative purpose. Mass transformative purpose means you have to stay with this for multiple years. And you need to believe in it when you get up in the morning till you go, and even the night you dream about this. So people who can do that have made a huge difference. So opportunity is huge, the task is gigantic, and all of us need to stay on course to achieve this. The second one, we need to involve every hearts, minds and hands, the government, education institutions, the semi-government organization like NASCOM or CII or ICT Academy, as well as in organization like us need to come together and put our heart and soul into this. So that is, I have my team members sitting here. We have dedicated 2-3 people to work with ICT Academy, both in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, to really transform the education system for the future. So in this context, I would like to talk about 3 big opportunities what we have. And how can we stay on course? How can we bring our heart, head and hands into this? The first one is, how do we solve unemployment problem? And the unemployment problem in future is only can be solved by industry ready skills. How do you do that? I have a use case on this, and I can also share with you around 35 job families. How is the future skills going to be? I know NASCOM is working a lot, and I worked with a company, and developed this perspective. I'll share that. Second one is, how can we really, India problem is, one is unemployment, another big problem is underemployment. We generate MBAs, masters in technology, and graduates in technology, but they do very low end of the work. I always say for testing, no engineering is required. For most of the BPO transaction, not graduation, forget about MBA, we deploy MBA students. So underemployment is a very big problem. And how do we solve is only through upskilling, reskilling and cross-skilling. The people for transformative work than the transactional work they are doing today. With the Gen AI coming, we are a perfect opportunity to really unlock the value of Gen AI. I'll show you some example to really reskill, upskill and cross-skill people. And another Another big problem is unequal employment. The employment are concentrated on tier 1 cities like Bangalore, Chennai. Then how do you really develop tier 2, 3 and 4 cities? And EY is the first professional services firm untapped Trivandrum and Kochi. And a lot of people scared to go to Kerala, isn't it? For various reasons. So we entered Kerala many years back. Today we have 10,000 employees in Kerala. And we want to double it and triple it in the next few years. And we also started in Coimbatore. Actually, we went to meet the minister to invite him for inauguration. We are planning to do in December. And we are also exploring how can we explore more cities like Madurai and other places in Tamil Nadu. So how do you really unlock it? Then developing a gig and freelancing economy. So here slogan is, how do you take the soul of a rural India and put in a digital body or a digital India? We have a unique opportunity. I'll show you some of the work we are doing in this area in Karnataka. Then the last one, Minister explained, how do you really drive entrepreneurship and startup ecosystem in rural India, especially focused on social entrepreneurship? How can we do that? So this is the opportunity. And for that, we have to see it, we have to own it, we have to solve it, and we have to execute it, or we have to do it, which require everyone sitting in this room, complete involvement. This cannot be another conference. We have nice time, go out, and nothing changes, business as usual. We cannot do that, then we are not able to make a difference. So in this context, I'm also looking at the time. So we know what is our agenda, we know what is our ambition, $1 trillion economy. Now, let's take some actions. What we are going to do differently going forward. The first one is, as ministers requested or said, we have exponential change opportunity, not incremental. The Bangladesh case study is an exponential, not incremental. 45% of GDP comes from gig economy or freelancing. You can Google it, you'll find a lot of case studies. So we have an exponential opportunity here. The vision is $1 trillion from 300 million. So 300 billion is not easy. It requires an exponential, that too in 3 years, isn't it? Had it been 10 years, incremental is enough. We require exponential changes. Leveraging disruptive technologies. I'll talk about how disruptive technologies can create employment opportunities. How can it disrupt the education system and skilling system? Incremental will not help. Then, how do you use data economy? We need to understand our opportunity and the current problem a little more detail. We have little statistics here and there, that's not enough. We need to go deep into data economy, crunch the details, and really need to create an exponential roadmap. And when you do that, we have a huge opportunity to keep human at center. And that is one thing. Can we build these 3 things? Digital disruptive technologies, data economy, and human at the center when we do this transformation. So in this, one of the things, what is going to happen in the next few years, it's already there. The disruptive technologies are demonetizing the cost of labor. And the disruptive technologies are demonetizing the cost of delivery. When I started offshoring career 30 years back in GE, I have 30 years I completed this year, my experience. The average cost was around 35K US dollars of a transaction, engineering transaction. And we used to have at that time wage inflation 12%. And productivity of Indian labor used to be 1/3, not today. So a Western employee will get laid off, we used to hire 3 people to replace them, including because productivity is very low. So my colleagues in GE used to ask me, Sri, if you go in this space, you will lose competitive advantage. Your productivity is 1/3. Your cost is, of course, escalating 12% every year. And you are like a roadside mechanic, he can't do innovation, he can only fix bugs and fix problems, he cannot innovate. Today, can you imagine the same technology is charged at 13K or 14K US dollars. And the productivity is more than 100%. Nowadays in EY, we tell, give us work, we don't want to get count. We have capacity. And we have productivity very high, we can deliver that. And today we are not roadside mechanic, we innovate products and we can build products and technology here. So the demonetization, the cost of labor and cost of delivery need to come lower and lower. That's the reason tier 2 cities have a great potential. Wherever we work in tier 2 city, our cost is 15% lower than tier 1. We'll maintain that, and we feel further opportunity to really leverage this cost competitiveness, productivity and high retention rate as a differentiator compared to tier 1. But it have a lot of challenges, don't underestimate. You don't have enough skill set and we need to invest a lot. That's what company like ICT is helping us to do that. So once you demonetize it, it becomes dematerialized and it get democratized. The point which I was trying to tell is job of the future will be highly democratized. A student in the rural and a student in the urban will have same capability, same set of tools and same set of quality education to make a difference. I'll show you a few examples of this. I'm also watching time. So how do you really democratize the job opportunity in rural India to really unlock the power to meet our aspiration of $1 trillion economy? Now, our purpose is, first one, I have to talk about three things quickly: unemployment, underemployment, and unequal employment. How can we solve? The first one is eradicate unemployment. It should be a massive purpose, like eradicate poverty or eradicate cancer. You need to stay on course for many years and work together. That's called mass transformative purpose. So for that, we should have industry-ready skills, and we should have transitioning from legacy to modern skills. These two are very important for solving underemployment. So unemployment. So this is a little scary statistics. Tamil Nadu compared to average India, unemployment rate are very high. The blue is average India and Tamil Nadu is that black. And you can see the rural male, rural female, urban male and urban female. Except urban female, the unemployment rate in Tamil Nadu is high compared to average India. Of course, that gives us an opportunity to beat it and change it. For that, we require industry-ready skills. So this is an AI work we are doing it. I'm very happy to share with ICT Academy. We have taken 35 job families, including software engineering, data science, design and UI, digital marketing, like 35 job families, and defining what are the traditional skills you could see here and what are the emerging and new age functional skills. And this is, for example, object-oriented programming may disappear, and how do you really see microservice development? That means you don't have monolithic development platforms. You develop small modules through freelancing, people working in the rural, and you assemble it using microservice technology. That's what is happening. So the whole job or task can be broken into small pieces and can be crowdsourced from various parts of the village, and you can assemble it wherever you want to. Interest of time, I'm not getting. Similarly on cloud computing, IT network and system, IT infrastructure, IT support, blockchain, how the new age skills are coming. But you will agree, even our education system is struggling on the left side, forget about the right side. How do you really prepare for the right side? The big shift is happening on the right side in terms of these technologies. Then, if you really look at similarly cyber security, IoT, robotic process automation, the traditional skill set is disappearing and the new types of skill set are emerging. And it's not only new set of skills, the new toolbox are emerging. Today, really you not teach soft coding or testing. What you need to teach students is how to use GitHub and ChatGPT combination. That's what you need to teach. Then I will tell you village students grit. Grit is called purpose and perseverance. You should read a book called Grit. It defines how village people are more grit than urban people, and they are more innovative once you give a platform to catch up on coding skills through these tools and methodologies. Then next one is, so we discussed about unemployment as quickly shifted, how we move from traditional skills to new age skills. The next one is transactional to transformative work. How do you do that? For that, skill as a currency. And how do you do digital skill set and transformative mindset in our organization? And that is what is going to transform our organization in future. For that, I'll give one example of data science. This is the data science skill taxonomy. We use it through an AI engine. And it takes from 700 million resumes and 14,000 university curriculum on data science, and also take 80,000 edtech courses and define what is the skill set required for data scientists. Then what we are doing is we are using a concept called RPA, Reskilling Propensity Index. That means we are understanding adjacency skills. What is the adjacent skills which we can skill into data science? For example, Trivandrum have only 2,000 data scientists. So if I hire them, I will hurt TCS and a couple of other organizations. So I don't want to hurt them by really hiring and giving 20-30%. So can we work with ICT Academy and other organizations to find people who are in data analyst, software engineer and systems engineer and really reskill them into data scientists. So this is the algorithm we are building it, where data scientists can be reskilled into. So data analysts can be reskilled into data scientists, software and everything. The skill, which are the skill common for both? What are the skills redundant? What are the skills required? And then we are telling these are the skilling curriculum to reskill them. And the entire thing is developed by generative AI solution because it has database of 9 skill taxonomy including NASCOM, Singapore, Australia, Canada, UK, and also the database of universities and everything will do that. So this is a huge opportunity to reskill it. Now, a tip thing, this is what we need to take an inventory. Maybe Bala, I can work with you. There are a lot of tools emerging in every profession. And if you can teach students how to use the tool and methodology, you can really change your syllabus. You don't teach coding anymore. But you need to teach them how to use GitHub. Isn't it? More this one. So there are tools on image generation, video generation, audio application, text and content creation, virtual reality, and language translation. Whether German to English or French to English. Now a lot of language related job will come to India. There was some restriction because it was not very easy to hire language skills of European languages. With the ChatGPT, language translation, a lot of work. We see that tax and audit, now we are going to get more work from German. Earlier we used to do in Poland, now we can do it here. And coding, data accommodation, anomaly detection, chatbots and personality development, called persona development, like metaverse. So these are the illustrative tools. So can we understand these tools and teach students to become more productive and democratize them and make it available for all the students on this? I'll take one use case on testing. This is testing, these are the tools now coming, software engineering. These are the tools coming in which will make a student's life much easy. But how the faculty can understand this and teach students how to use these tools is the challenge going to be the next few. And for example, this is a software engineering family, front-end development, full stack, DevOps, mobile and software testing. The dark blue is going to go away. And it will be replaced by Gen AI toolkits and methodologies to develop that. So how do you do that? Then the workload of legacy is going to be transformed into Gen AI workload. And what are the tools which will enable? For example, execute full software development lifecycle, become development software application using Python, TensorFlow and these kind of technologies. So these are the sample roles, the new skills, how it replaces and how it can really add better value to the students. Then how do you create a curriculum moving from software engineer to generative machine learning engineer? And feature is that. And how do you transition them through define the curriculum and the toolbox is what we need to do it. The last part, while I take 5 minutes. Yeah. So this is very interesting. Normally we can discuss hours together on these two topics. So last one we discussed about underemployment. We discussed about unemployment, now unequal employment. How do you solve it? So this is the soul of rural India into the body of digital India. That's my personal purpose, or we call it as mass transformative purpose. Each one of you should have it. I used to define my purpose as being happy. But now I started thinking it should be something very big, to giving back to society. So those who want to work with us on this massive purpose of soul of rural India into the body of digital India, how do you really transform the Indian economy using this construct? The first one is smart village with focus on gig economy. We are adopting few villages as smart villages, and one first experiment I am doing in a village near Mangalore called Nitte. So we are defining a smart agriculture, smart job-oriented skills, smart health, smart family, like that. So there, one of things, we divided entire farming community into 5 companies of 1,000 farmers each. Then the students of these farmers studying in BCom, MCom, engineering, we are teaching them a elective course called biofarming. We want the students to work in their farm morning 6 to 10 and help their parents to do biofarming. So we are not destroying the village economy, or the soul of village economy is agriculture. But my worry is, if you get all the software engineering to villages, you will cut the paddy fields and build big buildings, isn't it? So how do you protect that? Then 10 to 6 students will do gig working. For that, we are teaching them elective on 4 or 5 competencies. Then we are also teaching elective what it takes to be gig working. So I was in Little Village, 800 students were sitting. I asked them, how many of you work in gig platforms, or how many of you know any gig platforms? You will be surprised, not a single hand raised. If I go and IIT Chennai ask this question, everybody will raise their hand. The students work from day one in gig platforms, either to experiment or contribute. So how do you make the students an elective course to work on gig or freelancing or solopreneurs? So second one is developing tier 2, tier 3 and infrastructure. Then if we can do this, it will be, these are some example of tier 2 cities coming. We are doing a lot of research on how tier 2 cities can be brought in. And the last one is, we are working on gig economy of partnering with Upwork and some of the organization, and ensuring that micro skilling is taught in this educational institution. I'm not telling change your curriculum, it takes time, I understand, but you can introduce electives. One elective on biofarming, if students have a farm, if they are interested. One elective on how can you be a freelancer, what are the do's and don'ts. We trained some of the ICT academy members or colleges in Trivandrum on this. This one. Third one is electives on smart skills of the future and using smart tools. And they can, all the things I explained, we have 36 job families. I'm working on that to decode it. So you can make small elective in the 3rd or 4th semester of engineering. They can certify, then do, like you said, virtual intern. We can give them virtual intern on a gig platform, which we are building it, and so that they can certify. So the last one is, we require collaboration. I said, no one can alone do it. Industry, academia, ICT, voluntary organization, NGO organization, city government organization, everybody need to come and really change the way we use teaching. And AI can be a great enabler, and we can strengthen our teaching methodology using AI. I'll take 2 minutes to wrap it up. This is motivated by Khan's TED Talk called Benjamin Bloom's 2 Sigma. So if you teach a student, 30 students in a class versus one-on-one student teaching, the learning ability of one-on-one is 2 sigma deviation. That means close to 2 sigma is 66%, close to 66% productivity. 3 sigma is 99 plus. So 66% productivity of learning, you can do that. So technology, generative AI can personalize the learning content based on the intelligence, learning agility of the student. And for that, we need to do a lot of work. The Gen AI based education, interest of time, I'll just skip this slide. How we can use Gen AI based education in the universities and other colleges is very important. Then our last one, the slide is, how do you really, lot of brain drain happen in Tamil Nadu. I just took an analysis using AI engine. People are moving out into different parts of the world after MS, especially IITs and everything. How do you get them to be part of this journey of a $1 trillion economy? And this is my favorite, when you collaborate, it brings a lot of joy. And this journey need to be joyful, a lot of fun. And I feel whatever you do, it should have a purposive force which brings joy of creating 1 trillion economy. And I'm signing in, Bala. You can bet on me. With some thoughts I have, some of the research we have done it. I'm very sure people sitting here see it, they want to own it, they want to solve it, and they have to do it. Thank you very much.